All right, you guys, this is Scotty by Nature TV, and we have a special guest, Chef Don Don, for the very first episode of Who Was Wrong, and that is what we're here to find out. Who was wrong? Josiah be killing me with this music and the stuff that he put in the ground. He be killing me. But
I missed
y'all,
it.
we're here for the first episode of the third season of Who Was Wrong, and Chef Don Don is here, and I'm letting you guys know if you haven't seen the first two seasons of Who Was Wrong, I sit down with some of my favorite content creators, some content creators that I know personally, like Chef Don Don, or some that I just admire from afar and I just want to do a collaboration with them. And I send everybody that I asked to be a part of this a list of reality TV feuds to choose from, and they pick them themselves. And then we come on here for about 20 to 30 minutes and we discussing and we trying to see who was wrong in the situation. So for this one, when I sent Chef the list, he said, "Oh, it's so many on here. I can't choose. I can't choose just one." I said, "You got to choose one." He said, "Well, I'm gonna pick Syleena versus Nikki because I got a lot of stuff to say about that." So I'm here for it. Because listen, R&B Divas used to be one of my highest rated videos back in the day, honey. And I used to drag Nikki for points. So I'm here to drag her ass again because I already know that we're gonna agree on this, and I already know who we think is wrong. But whatever, we're gonna go into we're gonna go into what we here to talk about. Now, Chef already told me that he didn't remember every little thing that transpired between the two, but I do remember, so we're gonna go down memory lane. I think that the beef really, really started in season 2, but it was simmering in season 1. Remember in season 1, which wasn't their best season, you could tell it was just the beginning, but in season 1, Syleena and Nikki would kind of butt heads a lot. One thing in particular that I do remember that really started it was when, Kiki used to bring her husband around all the time. Every time they did something, she'll bring her husband around. And Syleena would mention her bringing her husband around when they're trying to have like girl time and stuff like that. And I always thought that shit was weird because I'm like, Kiki, why aren't you bringing your man? I understand that you love your man and shit, but I can't imagine bringing some man that I'm with around all the time to everything that I'm
She's
doing.
and she still do that to this day. I'll be tired of seeing that man.
That's what I'm saying.
And
So
all he wears wife beaters.
so on the very first, like I think on the last episode of like the season finale of the first season, Syleena and Nikki got into like this small argument where Nikki was upset with Syleena saying something about Kiki bringing her husband around or something like that, and they kind of had a back and forth with that. So as season 2 was beginning to film, I remember I used to read Funky Dineva's blog all the time because he would have a lot of the tea on what would go down on these Atlanta shows. Okay, I used to read his blog all the time when I wanted to see. And he was saying that Nikki just don't like Syleena. Syleena don't like Nikki. Nikki don't like Syleena. First episode started off. I remember Nikki sitting down with Monifa, and she was like, "Monifa, I don't like Syleena." I thought that was funny. But at least she just flat out said she just don't like Syleena. Then Syleena I think her sister brought up like a tour possibility when it was at Selena's house. Nikki came over. Nikki was the last one to arrive.
The last one to arrive and the first to leave.
The first one to leave. And they got into this big blow up. And then what they say, Monifa was like, "Can we work together?" And then Nikki was like, "Well, as long as we're not, mushing people and pushing people and cussing people out, absolutely." And then that's when Syleena said, "Well, since we've never done that," and then Nikki said, "You have," and then Syleena was like, "Who did I mush? I didn't mush you." And then Nikki was like, "Oh, absolutely, of course you didn't mush me. You mushed Monifa." Look at him laughing because he remembering the shit now. And then he was like, "I mushed Monifa." And then Monifa dumbass said, "You did mush me, but I don't know about all that. And then Nikki said, and you got up in my face after cocktails and you pushed my friend in the club. And then that's when Syleena said, as he says, Martin Lawrence says, you can get up out of my house. Because if you gonna come up in this motherfucking line.
They gave us epic TV, bro. They really
did. They did. They went back and forth. And then Nikki was like, call me Norma Desmond, bitch, because I didn't want to come in the first place. And then Syleena said, I didn't want you to come. And so as Nikki's walking out, Nikki give her the bird. And then Syleena said, get the fuck out. Suck 10 bags of dicks on your way out. So then after that, this whole press release thing became an issue. And I remember when Angie Stone told them we need to put this on the table. We need to pull, sayings out of a pot. And then, Nikki was saying that she felt like it was bullshit that, Angie and stuff. And then she kept on saying that it was Syleena's sister or her friends or associates that did that. And then Syleena said, my sister has nothing to do with that press release going out. You too crazy if you think
I'm
that
about to apologize.
So then Nikki was like, well, I guess the ghost put out the press release. And then that's when Syleena said, I'm going to do something that the devil never did to you, baby. Leave you alone. Okay? That was that part. Next big part was Nikki was finna do a charity event. And Syleena felt like it was fraudulent. And Angie Stone also felt like this was just a ploy to get everybody to get rid of a brownstone to come back and all this other stuff. And of course, Nikki was pissed about it. Nikki was upset about the situation, okay? And so they sitting at the table because this season only had like 8 episodes. R&B Divas episodes used to be they used to have very short seasons. So a lot went on within 8 episodes. So that's when they was all at the season finale at Kiki's party. And Nikki said, I got an invoice that you're going to talk to. And then Syleena said, you're dead to me. And then Nikki said, I'm dead? And then Syleena said, dead, too dead. And then Nikki said, well, before I die. And then Syleena said, dead, dead, dead. Then they start arguing about this workout DVD. And then, Syleena called Nikki a lying ass bitch. And then that's when Nikki said, bring it down, Godzilla. Bring it down. And then that's when Syleena said, I know you ain't talking SpongeBob. What that SpongeBob. You super wet. Then Syleena says, now that I'm at 1,000, I definitely got to get out of here. I am exiting stage left. I'm going to say the whole read that Syleena gave Nikki. Syleena said to Nikki, because I'm a bitch. A bitch that's better than you. That's cuter than you. And that's more pulled up than you. And you hate it. You hate it. Bitch, I ain't never worked for you, bitch. I ain't never worked for you. Bitch, I ain't never worked for you. All right, Bobby. Okay. No, she said, okay, Whitney. All right, Bobby, because you a man, bitch. A man with a wig. You're a hot mess. And your lips are like a baboon's ass. I'm not angry.
Syleena, that's low. By the way, Kiki said that's low what she said with them knock knees.
What you've done to these women is a sin. And there's a special place in hell for a bitch like you. A special place for a bitch that causes division with another women. It's a special place for you. The truth is, you're the common denominator. Everybody knows that you're a hot mess. You're going to look a mess with those black gums and all.
Syleena, that's low.
And them knock-ass knees. Thank you and good night. Okay. And Syleena walks out. Now, that's just that. Now I went through the biggest moments of what led to this particular moment. So putting yourself in the mind frame back then, or just putting yourself in the mind frame that you're in right now, why was you team Syleena? Because I know you are. So why was you team Syleena?
First of all, Selena reads down. I don't like Selena reads down. Okay, like she's witty. She them comebacks was like they had Nikki gagged. They had Nikki gagged. I always felt like Nikki was a um. She always threw shots. She always threw shots, and you
Always.
can't be mad at how people decide to respond to the shots that you throw. You was
Exactly.
always trying to be like conniving, ignorant, and then when you got called out, that's when you like want to fold up about it. Like Nikki just irked me, still irks me to this day.
Still irks.
um, but she always used to come for Syleena, and then be mad. But I have to say they gave us good
Good
TV. They
TV.
gave
I
us
would love to
good
have
TV,
R&B
but I'm
TV
gonna
today.
always be Team Syleena. Always.
I was team
Nikki,
Syleena from
Nikki
day
was
one.
yeah, me too.
I was team Syleena from
Me
day
too.
one because I just felt like Nikki really didn't have no real reason not to like Syleena, and a lot of it had to do with like a business thing, and Nikki didn't want to sign off on a workout DVD and things like that, like doing little shady, malicious ass shit. And even now, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you've seen it or not, but she was discussing, I guess she was having like diva talks, diva conversations or whatever. And she sat
Mhm.
down with Monifa and she blamed everybody but herself for everything that happened on R&B Divas, and blamed the production team. She still blames the producers to this day about how she was depicted on the show. But at the end of the day, I feel like I've been hearing about Nikki being an asshole since Brownstone. I mean, if you really think about it, Brownstone went through two changes. Their first album, the girl Mimi was in the group. By the second album, she was gone. And they had a new girl by the name of Keena on there. And then she was gone. Then they brought some dark skinned chick named Tisha to the damn show, who never sung to the group, who never sung not one note with
Not
Brownstone in the
one.
studio. So if anything, Nikki got to be the fucking problem. And I just felt like she was when it came down to her and Syleena. I just always felt that way.
And also, too, let's keep in mind, Nikki was an executive producer and a cast member. I never think that works out well. I
Mm.
never, just in my opinion, we've seen examples of it, and I never think that you being an executive producer on a project ever looks good. Like now, she's trying to fight for the rights of the show. I don't know why, but she's trying to fight for the rights of the show. And to me, she do give me that she is difficult to work with. Just when I be listening to her, I be like, now, Nikki, girl, sometimes you gotta realize you are the common denominator, boo. Like back then you was the common denominator, now you the common denominator as well. Like Nikki was just ugh. I I used to I try to find the good in Nikki. Nikki is one of the people that you try to be like, okay, let me see if I can find a little inch of good in you, but I could never. And then the way she would come in Syleena, I would be like, now why you do this? You know, Syleena finna outreach you. You know she is. Like, why do you do this every time?
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I just felt like Nikki was just ridiculous. Like just ridiculous and for no reason. And I felt like she wanted to be bigger than what she already was. Oh God, that didn't sound when I said she wanted to be bigger than what she already was.
But we know what you mean. We know what you mean. You mean clout, celebrity status,
Yeah,
that
that's what
that
I
kind
meant. I really didn't mean that.
of cloud and celebrity status big. Let's clear that up.
Cause they be trying to say I'm something. They be trying to say I'm body shaming a woman and stuff. They'll be trying to say that, and
Let's
that ain't even what I'm
clear
trying
that
to do.
up.
That ain't even what I'm trying to do. But yeah, though, like I always felt like she was in the wrong. I never felt like she was right in anything that she did, honestly, because it was like Girl, what's your real issue with Syleena? Because it never made sense.
It never made sense. Never made sense. Now to elaborate a little bit more on Syleena. So I was prepared. I was getting prepared for this. I was getting prepared for this. So I had went back and watched like some old interviews because
Mhm.
I wanted to know back then 10 years ago how y'all felt about these situations because I don't remember recalling like paying attention to interviews back then. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like
yeah.
I don't recall that. So I went back and I listened to it was an interview Syleena had done where Syleena was explaining to the fact that she didn't have any clue because remember, Nikki was mad at her, was mad at Syleena because there were certain R&B divas that was invited to Selena's separate party. But
Mm-hmm.
Syleena allegedly did not know anything about the premiere party that Kiki was putting on. That's another thing that Nikki put herself involved in that you ain't really had nothing to do, girl. You didn't have nothing to do with it. But I found it funny because Syleena was explaining it then, and she was talking about like the issue she had with Nikki. Like Nikki was the common denominator even there.
Because she was. I don't see any other way that she couldn't have been no common denominator. Like I don't
Out of
see.
out of curiosity, I well, not out of curiosity. I think Nikki has a lot to do with why the show is not currently on or why the show ended. I think Nikki was held behind the scenes. Nikki gives me another Shawnee.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I truly believe Nikki was held behind the scenes. And again, it just comes into play that you were an executive producer and you were a cast member. And I just don't ever think those two mix well because you got your feelings about people on the cast and then you're an executive producer. I can just assume that you're going to edit me or have the edits to make me look a certain type of way. That's one thing. And then two, do you feel like because you're an executive producer, you got to try to come at people harder? I've never understood that. They got ate up every time, if you ask me.
She did get ate up every single time. She got ate up with Syleena. She got ate up with Angie Stone. She stayed getting ate up. She stayed getting ate up. And Nikki just had a ugly disposition about herself though. It's I don't know what it was about her that I just didn't care for her like that, but it was just this ugly disposition she had.
Let me give you this, and I'll see. It's a huge comparison there. Who does she remind you of from L.A. from Hollywood
Kelly
deep?
Price.
I mean, not Hollywood but divas, but R&B L.A. R&B
Kelly
divas L.A.
Price. Kelly Price.
Her and Kelly Price got the same spirit. That's why they friends. They got the same thinking spirit. Okay, they have the same spirit. Absolutely.
And they both blamed editing. They both tried to make it sound like it was editing, it was production. Production told me to do this, production told me to do that. All the other bullshit they was trying to put on everybody. And I'm just like, so production made you be foolish and act a damn fool and act like you ain't had no fucking sense.
And just say what it is. I mean, I don't know. I've heard through ramblings that well, when Syleena was on Cocktails with Queens, I think Lisa Ray had brought it up one time, asking her how she was with Nikki Gilbert. I think it was around the time that it had came out that she was I don't know if she's suing the network or the production company that once had R&B divas, but some kind of way she's trying to get rights back or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I I just think Nikki, girl, you're just a problem. You're just a problem. That's just it. I just think you're a problem. I think you're very difficult to work with. And I I mean, it just is what it is. You're just difficult to work with. If you if you have a problem with Angie Stone, you're definitely difficult to work with. At least those ladies, if they did have something with Angie Stone, they talked that thing out and it was good. Nikki was a whole different type of story.
And Nikki was also a different type of stupid too, because it just never made sense to me. And to me, she always wanted to vilify Syleena. in every situation. She always wanted to vilify her. She wanted her to be the problem all the time. Tried to accuse her of sneaky shit, snake shit, and all that. But it was like you were the only one that said that editing made you look a specific way.
A specific
You
type
know
of
what I'm
way. Yep.
saying? You were the one. So,
And in my opinion, again, that's just who you are in real life. Like you're not depicting anything different. Like when people show themselves as that, that's how they are in their real life. Like you can't blame that on editing. Now you may can blame it on editing at this point in your life because you're older now and hopefully you have matured a little bit. But back then, girl, that's who you are. That's literally who you are. Don't blame it on editing, honey. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just do not do that. Okay. Are you gonna have Latasha on one of these? I probably shouldn't ask that one.
no,
But are you gonna have
nobody has picked her yet.
nobody wants to pick Run Tasha?
I've been waiting for somebody to pick her and Tamika. I've been waiting for
Oh, Run
nobody.
Tasha. Oh well.
Nobody.
Oh, it's with Tamika. Oh, that's why anybody picked it. Lord have mercy. You about to do that one on your own, though, honey. Because we all know who was wrong in that
That's why
situation.
don't nobody want it because we already know who wrong in it. That's why don't nobody really want to do it. Oh my god.
Oh no, I just thought about Latasha because Latasha was up in season 3, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, we forgot you were there, but you was there.
But she certainly made her a presence known on Queens of R&B. She certainly made a presence known there.
Sure did. And certainly made a presence on their live, on their promotional lives. Sure did. This ain't even about Latasha. Sorry, y'all. I just had to ask.
Well, when it all boils down, the question remains: in Syleena versus Nikki, who was wrong?
Nikisha,
I agree,
Nikki,
Nikki, all day.
Nikki. I
But
mean,
we already
Nikki.
we already said that before we even pressed this damn red button that it was gonna be Nikki. We already said that. Like it was no
And
other
shout
person.
out to Syleena, because Syleena is reality TV gold. I don't care what anybody says. I know she's had her ups and downs with reality TV, but Syleena is literally reality TV gold because Syleena didn't mind clocking in and doing her job. Syleena did do
And
her job.
people love to say that Phaedra's read to Kenya was the best read in reality TV. No, Syleena versus Nikki is by far one of the best.
The best, like to this day, I would love to see them have a sit down. I would love to see them have a sit down, and I want to be there to mediate it because, baby, I would be chuckling the entire time because I still believe Syleena got some of the reads in her. I believe she got it in her. Boo got it in her, Syleena. Let it come out, girl.
Oh
Please,
my
please.
goodness. I agree. I agree. I would pay money to see them on the same show again. Like if they ever brought back R&B divas, like I know that Nikki got issues with production, but I will bring her back. I'll bring Syleena. I'll bring back that whole cast. Pretty
The
much.
cast, the entire cast was good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The entire cast was good. The only one that I would be a little bit iffy with, and I understand that you need someone like her, would be like Angie Stone. I just felt like Angie Stone really was the grandma of the group, and that ain't even no bad way. It's look, don't be laughing. I don't mean that in a bad way, but let's be for real. Angie really did give grandmother vibes. She didn't give mama vibes to me. She gave me grandmama vibes. And I mean, it's okay, Angie. I do think sometimes you do, especially then and with this group of girls, you do need somebody like her. So I mean, I guess you could keep Angie.
I get rid of Faye.
Yeah, Faith can go.
She
Faith
can
can
stay
go.
gone.
Faith can
Faith
go.
can stay gone. Oh, and
Yeah,
Latavia.
Faith can go, but Faith was a executive producer too.
That's true.
Yep. But
Latavia
Faith can
shouldn't
go.
have been, Latavia shouldn't have been casted either.
I agree. I agree.
Them the only
I
ones.
agree.
But everybody else is fine. But mm.
Everybody else keep them on there because they made each other literally clock in and work.
Oh yeah,
They
Mila from 702 shouldn't have been casted either.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, you right. You right.
Mm-mm. I wasn't feeling her on there. Mm-mm. No.
Divas just need to come back. And the one thing I do hate is I hate that you cannot go back and watch it. It's like I know there's like a
Somebody,
YouTube page that puts them up,
yeah, I'm about to say
but
somebody's uploading
I
the full episodes like right now. Like they're uploading the full episodes right now.
and I appreciate that. But another thing that I think with them, they didn't get not one reunion, or they did, but from what I understand, something happened when they were filming it, right? But I don't like the way they treated them. I really
I do
don't.
know that the one with Nikki and them, they didn't get a reunion the first season, but the second and third season they did get one.
They did. Okay.
I barely remember the second reunion because it was fucking boring and the host was terrible. It was Joe Claire that was the host, but then in the middle of the reunion, they brought Cheryl Lee Rapp out there to host, and it became a little bit better when she hosted it. But then I'm like, I don't think they know what they're doing.
Hey,
By
they need to
season,
post them reunions too because
right?
I don't remember a lot of stuff because it's been so doggone long. But
Mhm.
they do need to post the reunions. I stay watching the LA R&B Divas reunion. Their reunion was funny, baby.
Because they had
Lil Mo,
Wendy.
okay, and Lil Mo was on Kelly neck the entire
She
time.
was. She was. And I was here for it. I was here for her being on Killing Me. But
Yeah, I just wish we can go back watch these old episodes because that was when reality TV was good. Like,
baby, reality TV was on point back then. Like before we get up out of here, I'm gonna say this though. But back then, I had so many shows to review back then. It was Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It was Love and Hip Hop New York. Love and Hip Hop. No, Hollywood went out in 2013 when RBD was on. RB
mm,
Divas. Then we had Hollywood Divas came on not too long after that. Then we had Basketball Wives when it was still good. Basketball Wives LA. We had Bad Girls Club. I had so many back then. I had so many shows to review. Now,
it's not, it's just not as good and authentic as it used to be. Like these girls, they used to get together and we used to be literal authentic reactions. Now everything is so pre-produced. So
I mean, Love and Hip
yeah.
Hop was terrible. That was one of my favorite shows. That was the show that boosted my Love and Hip Hop and Basketball Wives. Anything VH1 was boosted my channel up back then. That's how people got to know me from those reviews. But now, Basketball Wives is trife. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is just not good. Um, They trying too hard. Carly Red needs to go. Yandy got no business being on Atlanta. Rashida should have been gone. It's just like, why are they here?
And before we end, it's this reality TV formula that I think we are tired of. We're
Mm.
tired of the same formula. That's it. At this point, it has to change. It has to change some type of way. We so tired of going out of town, going on a trip. We sit at the table. Well, first of all, we gotta argue who gonna get the best room, and after we argue who gonna get the best room, then we gonna go sit down and have dinner, and then we're gonna argue back and forth at the table at dinner, and then we're gonna wake up and do an activity tomorrow, and then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna end the next scene with us down at the dinner table arguing with each other. I think we're just tired of it. And back then, again, it was authentic. Now it's so pre-produced.
You can tell that these girls are producing themselves now. Like I really feel like the first 2, 3 seasons of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, that shit was real.
And raw. Like that's what we loved about it. That's
Mhm.
literally what we loved about it. Like most people was in tune to it because it felt authentic. Again, now it's just pre-produced, girl. You gonna go in this scene, You gonna dash of water in Erica face. Erica probably gonna get ready to fight. I mean, pre-plans. But yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was, child. But gone are the days of
Well,
those.
Miss Nikki, you were wrong, girl. You were wrong, Miss
Period.
Girl.
Well, we knew that before we even
Yeah.
came on the screen. But anyway, with that being said, before we go, what you got going on? Because by the time the people see this, it should be June when they see this. So what do you have going on?
It depends on when in June, but June the 9th, I have a brunch and launching my official production company on June the 9th in Atlanta. Let's see. I'll probably have a short film that'll be coming out that I'm in that'll be coming out in June. Um, and I'm working on some other stuff, some other projects I can't necessarily talk about just yet, but yeah, I'm trying to be busy, child. I'm trying to be busy and get to the bag.
As you should, okay? And that's really
Yeah.
all that matters. And for those of you who may not know who he is, Chef DonDon has his own YouTube channel by the name of Chef DonDon. I think he's at 12K now, so be sure to subscribe to his platform. He has grown so much over the last 2.5, no, 2 years, well, year and a half, really, year and a half, ain't 2 years yet, I don't think. But yeah, he's grown so much since I first laid eyes on him, and he's going to continue to grow. So make sure you guys support him. Okay. And with that being said, this was Who Was Wrong. Make sure you guys stay tuned for the rest of Who Was Wrong. Bye, y'all.